Honestly, this file is probably better than this one. Save over this one. Overall, good ending. It's really sad, though. By the way, this ties into Zestiria, because in Zestiria, people can't see Malakim / Seraphim. So, I'm gonna go back to... No, I don't want to save that game. Yes. But, people can't see... They're called Seraphim in Zestiria. I like Malakim better. But, yeah, so they can't see Malakim. So, that's why when Aizen was on the ship, no one saw him. But, you know. Yeah. So that ties into Zestiria. This opens up Zestiria really nicely. Again, I don't think Zestiria is like a bad game, but it's definitely like the weakest one. But when you connect Zestiria with Berseria, it's really neat. I think you should play Zestiria first because you get this all... I feel like Zestiria is meant to be played first because there are some parts of Berseria that I'm like, yeah, if you know them from Berseria, it's not as good. But yeah, back to the game. Yeah, the ending was good. Ending was good, but sad. I want to talk about the characters. I'm going to start with the villains just really quickly because there's not, like, crazy amount to say, but I just want to praise all the villains. They're all really good. Artorias, I was just talking about. I love Artorias' whole deal of, like, you know, it's... I feel bad for him because, like, I actually, like... I almost want to agree with him. I don't agree with his methods, but, like, he's just a man who was heartbroken and sad because of 2 deaths of his unborn child and wife, so... Heartbroken is not the right word. I don't know why I can't think of it. But just sad. Like, you know, insanely sad. He's grieving. Grieving. I don't know why it took me a while to think of that. So, wanting to take all the emotions of the world is like, you know, it's understandable, but it's also messed up at the same time. So, Artorias is a really good villain. He's probably like either my favorite Tails villain or second. The only other Tails villain that would beat him out is Gaius from Tales of Xillia. I don't know, I might like Artorias a little bit more than Gaius. I'm not sure. It's a close tie between the two. Maybe Artorias second, I don't know. But, I don't know. They're both very good villains. Definitely my top 2 in Tales of. Like, main villains. But, the others are good too. Melchior is really neat. How he ties in with Maggie Lou is really good. Shigure, I kind of wish we got more on Shigure, but Shigure was neat as a rival to Rokero. The way Rokero's clan works is interesting, but I wish we got a little bit more on Shigure, but he was good for what we had. Oscar and Theresa, you know, Oscar and Theresa were, like, their death moment was really impactful, like, because the backstory of, like, Oscar, like, Theresa being that one person that, like, saw Oscar differently than everyone else in his family, and how Theresa was basically, like, shunned, like, her family didn't care about her compared to Oscar. And them dying like that was sad, but it also was really well done. And all that, so they were good. Side characters were neat. Dio was really good. Dio and Kudagane are, like, probably the best side characters. But, yeah. Dio and Kudagane are probably the best side characters. They're really hilarious. I love both of them. Kamoana is Annoying Child. I do not like Kamoana, and I don't like Bienfu. Those are the only 2 characters I do not like. Medissa's neat. I do like Medissa and, Kamoana's dynamic, despite not liking Kamoana. So, yeah, the whole Therian thing is neat. So, very, very good characters all around. But, the main cast is best. I'm gonna rank them right now really quickly, and then I'm gonna go get something to eat. Gameplay first. We're gonna rank them based on how much I enjoy playing as them. So, my least favorite is Laphicet. 5th place is Velvet. 4th place is... Aizen, probably? Yeah, Aizen's fair. Aizen, 3rd place is Rokero, 2nd is Maggie Lou, 1st is Eleanor. Those are my rankings of playing as the character. Now we're going to do story, and when I talk about story, I'll talk a little bit about them, but I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible. But, the moment you all been waiting for. My least favorite character. I want to preface this by saying, I do not dislike any of these characters, and even the last one I adore. I adore all of these characters. Picking this ranking was really, really difficult. I adore all of them. Alright, with that said, I'm gonna say my number 6, it's Maggie Lou. I love Maggie Lou, she's great. She's really, like, a really good free spirit character, you know, kind of the comic relief. The only reason she's last place, the main thing that made her last place is because that one skit is an example. I don't really like the way she treats Laphicet in the early game. How she's, like, a little, like, how she teases him and everything, especially the skit where she like shows him her books, which I don't want to go into it. We all know what it means, but that skit is an example. She goes a little too far with Laphicet, I guess. That's really the only thing that I'm like, yeah, this is why Maggie Lou's last place. Because no other character has that, other than Bienfu, who I despise. No other character has that irredeemable moment, so sometimes she goes a little too far. But either way, she's really funny and she's great. I adore her. She's so over the top. Her whole story is Magellanica is really good. I also like how in the beginning of the game, she's like, you know, I'm just going with you. Like, I don't care how this all turns out, but we slowly learn that, like, Melchior, she felt betrayed, because at the end of the game, we're revealed that she was, like, Magellanica, and, she was basically betrayed. She was, like, next in line to be a legate, and, she didn't meet Melchior's expectations, and, she was, like, discarded like a toy, so Melchior just got rid of her, so that was really hard on her. And some say that Maggie Lou acts the way she does because of that. She's trying to hide that pain, that she like puts Magellanica behind her. So I think that's really, it's really sad. But also, I love Maggie Lou, and I think they do her character really well. And again, she's only last place because of how she treats Laphicet sometimes, especially with that skit. 5th place, Eleanor. Eleanor's 5th place. Eleanor's whole character development is really neat. For the Therian Hunt being a little on the slow side plot-wise, it does really well for Eleanor's character development. You know, being an exorcist, seeing Malachim as tools, but eventually being like, yeah, demons have feelings too. Everything has hearts and feelings. Like, you know, her development was really well done. That kind of archetype, you can't go wrong with that archetype. You probably can, but it's gonna be really hard. But her whole, like, changed view of seeing Malachim and demons and all that was really good. Her slowly, like, leaning away from the Abbey and all that, it was really good development. Like, really, really good. Spot on. Just great stuff. And seeing her interact with, like, Rokero, Aizen, Laphicet, all of them was great. Her relationship with Laphicet was also amazing. 4th place is my boy Laphicet. Laphicet is 4th place. His archetype goes, like, what his development is, his arc, it goes for everything I love. I love the characters that start off like, you know, they don't know much and they're emotionless. Kind of like Sophie from Tales of Graces. Sophie from Tales of Graces follows that. But, Laphicet does really well. I love the beginning, how he starts off, like, you know, not knowing anything. And slowly Laphicet slowly starts to get bits of knowledge from the world. He was only exposed to reading, so seeing him slowly get expanded on the other parts of the world was really neat. Another thing I like about Laphicet is the different relationships he has. There was a skit where Laphicet said, like, oh, everyone does, like, each of these things. Like Velvet is, like, you know, encouragement, and, Aizen, like, taught him to steer his own ship. I love the different, like, relationships that Laphicet has with the party members. Like, you know, Eleanor is the vessel, so she, like, looks out for him. Well, Velvet's also kind of like the big sister type, too, so, you know, they're both kind of that role, but it's different. And Rokero and Aizen act as, like, the mentors, which was really well done. I especially love Aizen and Laphicet's, like, interactions. Their interactions are, like, possibly one of the best in this game. Like, I love the whole, like, you know, Aizen teaching Laphicet about, like, being the captain of your own ship, which clearly means, you know, do things the way you want to, and Laphicet finding his thing. And, you know, again, his relationship with Maggie Lou is, like, it gets better. It's not always rocky, but there's just some things that Maggie Lou says to Laphicet, I'm like, Maggie Lou, come on, dude. Like, he's just, like, he's getting used to the world, and you're not making this easy. But, you know, Laphicet follows that development really well, and how he sees the world and wants to live on and give everyone a second chance. It's just really good. Like, Laphicet's development is really enjoyable to see. I would even argue that Velvet is the main protagonist. Yes. I would argue that Laphicet has just as much reason to be the protagonist as well, because this is really like Laphicet's journey too, like just him seeing the outside world, so that's really good. 3rd place, this was tough. I think I ended up choosing Aizen for my 3rd place. I love Aizen. Aizen is great. His whole thing with the Reaper's Curse is really sad, how he can't go visit his sister because of the Reaper's Curse. His whole deal with Ifrid's also sad when Ifrid finally dies, but, you know, how the Reaper's Curse kind of acts like a trial for Aizen to, you know, get stronger, and what's the word? But, like, how the Reaper's Curse acts like kind of a gateway for Aizen to be like, okay, pass these trials. That's what the Reaper's Curse is. It's a blessing from his domain, which act as trials for Aizen to overcome, like disastrous things happening. So that was really good. Again, his relationship with others is really neat, and Laphicet specifically. But also seeing him nerd out is really good. I love seeing Aizen being the king of random facts, always. Seeing him be a nerd is endearing. Second place is Rokero. Rokero is amazing. He's really upbeat, and I love Rokero's like passion about, like, you know, killing stuff, like saying things that are a big deal, but just him not making a big deal out of it is really nice. And Rokero's deal with the clan is also really neat. How he has to, like, you know, kill the higher ups in the clan, and how, like, he probably became a demon. They don't go too much into it, but I think he became a demon something because of his own greed. He wanted to, like, take the top so bad, so he let his emotions overcome him. But Rokero's side quest, the only thing about Rokero, he's still my second favorite character. But the only thing about Rokero is the main story doesn't really flesh him out a lot. His side quest does all the fleshing out, you know. Either way, Rokero's great. This is based on, like, how I like the characters, so I put Rokero at second because Rokero is my boy and I love him. He's great. First place, Velvet. You all saw this coming. Velvet is possibly, like, one of my favorite female leads. She's one of the best female leads. Seeing her pain of, like, seeing her brother die right before her very eyes, and then seeing her, like, she does want her vengeance, you know, it's very single-minded, but, seeing her, like, slowly try to, like, meeting Laphicet, the Moloch Laphicet, and, like, wanting to give him life, and seeing him as her brother is really good. And I don't know, I just like her. I like her, you know, her like, she's really amazing just at what she does, and she's great. Like, even though she's single-minded, like, on killing Artorias, I do like her dynamic with the rest of the group. I can't really put my finger on it. It's like I know what I want to say, I just can't word it. I guess I just like her, I don't know, leading the group, and, like, again, this goes back to the theme of liking the whole selfish acts, like, they're all acting of their own selfish interests. But I like how she pushes through, goes on through her selfish interests. I just really like her, honestly, and she's great. And some of the things she says are, you know, her being a mom is also good. When she is a mom, she's a mom, and it's really endearing to watch. But, I guess I just really like Velvet because, you know, she's the protagonist, and they really do so well to, like, I just feel for her. Like, you go through her story, and, like, you expect, like, so much. Like, you see so much pain of, like, her feeling betrayed because when Laphicet her brother ends up being a Nominaut, and she feels betrayed when everyone, like, Artorias and a Nominaut, which is her brother, end up on the opposite side. So seeing her push through despite that is really good. Like, she's just such a great character. And I'm really sad that she died because I love Velvet. But, yeah, that's it. Those are my character rankings. Overall, this is, like, one of my favorite games of all time. I was thinking about it, and this was, like, in my top. This is probably, like, my 5th favorite game. I think I like this game more than Persona 5 Royal. Honestly. I used to think this was my 6th favorite game. I think this is my 5th favorite game. Persona 5 Royal goes to 6th. I think this is, like, in my top 5. This is an amazing game. I love it. It's just so good and phenomenal. I look forward to doing the post-game for sure. But yeah, those of you watching on YouTube, thank you all for watching. And when we come back next time, if you guys do watch the post-game, if not, then hope you enjoyed the story because the story's done. I think the first thing we're going to do is probably do the DLC skits and then Aizen's Mystic Art, but we'll start the post-game. So we got some stuff to do in Berseria. I look forward to doing the post-game. The main story's complete. I enjoyed it. So I hope you all join me for the post-game. Or if not, look out for other Tales games that are coming. But yeah, that'll be it. Next stream chat is on Monday. We'll do Horizon Zero Dawn. So I'm going to go get something to eat. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.